Welcome to 60 Skills. Today's topic is, how many hours a day should I practice? Well, the short answer is, as many as you can. Well, okay, that's not a very helpful statement. The reality is we have to support ourselves in the real world. The other reality is if you look at the history of highly successful practitioners, you'll notice an interesting trend where they've been out in a part of society and then they've periodically retreated from society. Usually during the course of these retreats, they are practicing intensely. What I can tell you is, as a practical matter, whatever level of ability you have built up with something, say the elements or Fa Jing or astral energy or what have you, can be maintained by roughly 1/10 the amount of practice that it took to build something. So, if you go into seclusion for a month and you practice 10 hours a day during that month, afterwards, 1 hour of practice per week is generally enough to maintain whatever level of ability you built during your retreat. So because of this, high-intensity practice is extremely valuable. Also keep in mind that most people, in my experience, will eventually reach a point of development where they're simply happy with what they have. I have one close friend who practiced like a demon for roughly 4 years. I'm talking 14, 16 hours a day was completely normal for this individual. He even got to the point where he stopped sleeping entirely for months at a time and was essentially practicing 24 hours a day. If you met him today, he practices 3 to 4 hours a day and he has a very solid practice. When I asked him why he retreated from doing everything that he was doing, he simply said it wasn't necessary. At the end of the day, the amount of esoteric power he was generating was excess to his goals in life. So now we're going to get on to a little other not so often discussed topic regarding this. If you're using these practices to enhance what you do, they are beneficial to you. If, on the other hand, you are using these practices as a form of escapism, they are largely destructive. So whatever you do, as long as you're applying these practices to it, that is both a way to practice in the real time, and it is also beneficial to you as an individual. On the other hand, if you are using these practices as an excuse to escape your real-world responsibilities, life is going to be pretty rough for you. So that said, learn how to apply these exercises to what you do in your day-to-day life. Now, if you're someone like an acupuncturist, this is easy to understand. Martial artist, same thing. That said, I have students who are working engineers, day traders, people who work on Wall Street, people who run distribution businesses, people who are forestry and agronomists, all kinds of things. And they have all found ways to apply these techniques to what they do, as a result of which they are practicing all day long while doing what they are supposed to be doing. So this is something to think about. And again, I can't really give anyone explicit guidance on how to do this. You're going to have to use your brain. But ultimately, if you're just practicing all day long and you're not getting anything done, you may want to ask yourself why you're doing that. At the same time, having intense periods of practice in isolation are, without question, extremely valuable to your development along metaphysical lines. So these are just some things to think about. Train hard and be well.